Howdy, y'all, and welcome back. On his passing yesterday, I wanted to share with you, my viewers, a short story about how Matthew Perry helped me get sober. And for the record, I don't care what the details are. We don't really know yet exactly what happened. I don't care. It's a tragedy. So, this really isn't so much of a story about him as it is about you. And I'll get to that at the end here. But to back it up, I had a pretty long career as an addict and alcoholic, and in 2007 I went through a divorce and moved from Los Angeles back home to Texas to feel sorry for myself and proceed to just almost drink myself to death. And in late 2007, my very best friend, my old Army battle buddy, gets sober. And he's got a few months put together, and we're talking on the phone one day, and he's like, bro, come back out to LA and let's do this thing together. And man, I had nothing better going on in my life, so I took him up on it. Threw all my crap back in my car, got my dog, threw him in there, and we rolled back out to Cali together. And immediately started going to meetings, and it was somewhere probably about in the first 2 weeks that I'm sitting at a fairly famous meeting in West Hollywood, and I'm sitting there in the little sucky folding metal chair, which is a universal thing in AA meetings. It doesn't matter if you're in a bougie location, you still get the little sucky folding metal chair. And I'm stretching and I'm looking around the room, and I'm acting like I'm looking for somebody, but what I'm really doing is I'm scoping out the room for hot chicks because I'm newly single and I'm not supposed to be dating at all. So of course that's what I'm doing. And so I'm looking around, and in the row behind me and 2 seats over is Matthew Perry. And of course, I've lived in LA for like 12 years at this point, and I do the thing that you do when you live out there. You act like you didn't really see him, or you acknowledge the celebrity, but you got to play it cool, So I gave him the nose or something like that, right? And he looked miserable, and what I should have done is stuck my hand out and said, "Hi, I'm Will. It's nice to meet you," something, I don't know. But I choked up, and I was trying to be cool, and so we made eye contact for 5 seconds, and that's the extent of my interaction with Matthew Perry ever. The actual point of this story is, after that meeting, a group of us go out to dinner at a diner. There's 8 or 10 of us sitting at this big table, and somebody mentions, hey, did you see Matt Perry there tonight? And we were all, yeah, and the dude's like, that guy made $1 million an episode. If there was a way to buy sobriety, he could afford it. But there he was, sitting there with us. And that shit hit me like a ton of bricks. I was just like, it completely changed the trajectory of my sobriety. Just his being there. And that dude's statement. And it was just, wow. And there's a couple of other, pretty famous people that were doing the thing around that same time. You probably know who I'm talking about. But that stuck with me in that early formative part of my sobriety, the part that really, really matters. And I would repeat that often as I was doing the hard work, doing the step work, doing the nitty gritty that you really have to do to get sober. And man, what an impact it made. Just him being there. And that is the point of this message, is you matter. Just your very existence matters. You never know when you just showing up for a thing might have a huge impact on someone's life. And you may not even know that it happened in the moment. Chances are you won't know. But you matter. And you are worth saving. So please, if you are struggling with addiction and or alcoholism, please seek help. It sucks to get started, but I promise it gets better. It gets so much better. And I'm coming up on 16 years now. Best thing I ever did in my whole life. It's not always easy. It's not all sunshine and roses, but my God, it's so much better than the alternative. So please, you are worth saving. It does take a little work, but it's not that hard either. probably only, like the hardest thing you'll ever do, but it's I promise you it's worth it. And that's all I got for this one. Until next time, be easy, y'all.